What's going on, BHDL fans? My name is Scorpion of the BHDL crew, and today we welcome you to the playoffs preview of Battle Hub Draft League Season 2. We have all of the teams on screen right now that have made it to the playoffs. The season is over, the fights have been fought, and this is the roster for the playoffs contenders who are going to try and make it for the title of Pokemon Viola in BHDL Season 2. In this video, we're going to take a quick look at all of the teams that are in the playoffs, their teams and their matchups more specifically, and we're going to take a look at who we think will win the quarterfinals. There will be a follow-up video on this on the semifinals and then possibly the finals as well. We're going to do a quick analysis of all the matches in the playoffs and who we think will win round 1. And yes, I did say we, because today we have two very special guests joining me. On the one hand, we have another lovely commissioner of the Battle Hub Draft League and the coach of the Grand Lake Garchomps. We have Stefan. You want to say hi, friend?
What's up, guys? Stefan here, coach of the Grand Lake Garchomps, finally bringing you Season 2 playoffs. And on the other side, we have the coach, former Season 1 champion and reigning defending champion, Raymon, coach of the Mamoswine Doubters.
Hello, very excited to do this video together with you guys. I'm a coach of Mamoswine Doubters, like you said, the scholar, and yeah, let's get things going.
Thank you so much, guys, for joining me. All right, let's have a look at the standings as of the second season. So these are all the teams that are in Battle Hub Draft League Season 2, and we have a very interesting setup of standings going on here because we have a whopping 9 coaches, all with a 5-3 record. This is a crazy season. We have Raymon, our former Pokemon Scarlet, at the top. With Brandon also with a very similar record. Both of these players have a 5-3 record and plus 14 differential. However, the reason why Raymond is at the top is because he's got the head-to-head bonus on Brandon. And then we also have the best not really coming back with a serious comeback after Season 1. We have Emerald Miner, the British underdog Just Weavile, newcomer to the BHDL by the way, so also very impressive. We have Icy Dude, we have Birudu, the organizer of the BHDL, and then we have Stefan at 8th seed. So those are your Season 2 playoffs contenders. Guys, quick thoughts on this season as a whole and these standings.
Crazy. You see from the aspect of the whole season, there are a lot of sweeps during the weeks. Fun stats, fun brings, 9, especially 9 teams. They are ending 5-3. Is crazy. We have to wait it for the last battle to have Icy Dude against Scorpion. Scorpion had a really tough matchup because if he won his final match, he was gonna be 6-2. So he was to be the first coach who didn't get the 5-3 records. But unfortunately he lost, so he dropped from first seeded all the way back to 9th. So Icy Dude is coming in instead of Scorpion, which is very sad, of course, for Scorpion is Brain. But yeah, we will see what the 8 people here are gonna be doing for the playoffs of Season 2. So
indeed.
Yeah, Raymond, any thoughts?
Thoughts on this one?
I think this season has been more competitive than the last one, and when I was talking to Bradu about my own standings, so when I think I was the first person who got 5 wins, and I was talking to him and he said, yeah, with 5 wins you are pretty much locked in, and seeing one person with 5 wins and not making the playoffs is insane to me.
Yep.
And 10 people out of 16 have like even or higher or positive records. Just shows how skilled people are in this league, how competitive this season was overall.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I'd like to think that a lot of coaches in this league are like very close to each other in terms of skill level. It really is like BHDL power creep, man. Like the first season was a lot more mild in that regard. Obviously, we did still have a couple of pretty rough tiebreakers, but like I've never seen anything like this. That's honestly pretty crazy. But yeah, unfortunately I was unable to make it, but you know what, I've still had a good season so far. I've still got a full recap coming up on my own channel, and I wish all of the coaches in the playoffs the best of luck. Now if we take a look at the next one, here we have the playoffs bracket for the quarterfinals. So we have the Mamoswine Doubters versus the Grand Lake Garchomps. Funnily enough, the two people in this call with me right now facing off against each other. We also have the rematch between the Demewlition Force and the Wolverhampton Weaviles, so very excited to watch that one personally. We have the Piercing Pawniards taking on the Neverdying Annihilapes, and the Piedmont Triad Kickers for the first time in BHDL history taking on the Atacama Tyranitars. So very exciting stuff for round 1. Obviously all of these coaches competing for that beautiful title of Pokemon Viola. And I'd like to ask you guys' thoughts. We're going to move on to the first matchup here. The Demewlition Force versus the Wolverhampton Weaviles. Guys, what do you think of this one?
Raymond, you want to do the honors first?
Yeah, sure.
Yep, go ahead.
So, what this battle is going to come, mainly for me, I think it will be a standoff between Iron Valiant and Iron Bundle, who gets more kills, because let's looking at the Just Weaviles team, unless he has Galarian Slow King, nothing can switch into Iron Valiant. And same goes for Iron Bundle, and I don't really think Emerald Miner has too many answers for it, because both of his walls, Hitron and Mandibuzz, are weak to Watcher and Ice respectively. So I think if we are going to choose between who will probably win this fight, for me personally it's going to be Just Weavile, just because of Iron Bundle and like how powerful Iron Bundle is and how few switch-ins Emerald Miner has to it.
I personally agree. I think Iron Bundle is a big key in this matchup. Obviously, what also plays a very big role is that the main way for Emerald Miner to outspeed his opponents above Hawlucha's best speed here, which is 118, is through obviously the use of Pincurchin's Electric Terrain, which of course Iron Bundle, however, can't use against him. So Iron Bundle can still get the jump on Emerald Miner's team. And then like you mentioned, when you look at Emerald Miner's team, you have Ogerpon, Wellspring, Heatran, Mandibuzz, Toedscruel, Hawlucha. All of these mons are super weak to Iron Bundle, and that's just one mon. I think if Jack plays it with a good balance of offense defense to try and slow Emerald Miner's offense down while keeping his own threats in attacking positions, I think he's going to have a very good time. Now, I do think that both of these teams are very well put together. In my opinion, Emerald Miner's team is actually the best in the league. And I think both of the Terra captains in this one are very solid. The choice of Terra type here is going to be key, in my opinion. Now, as for which Terra captains are going to come for each side respectively, I'm not entirely sure. But I think this is definitely a cutthroat match. Both of these teams very offensive. And honestly, I'm just excited to see this one. Steph, what do you think? What do you think actually? If you were either of these teams, which Terra captain do you think you'd bring?
I think most likely what the potential is going to be with the Terra captains. I think Toxtricity is coming for sure on the side of Emerald Miner. Most definitely, I think with Terra Ice, I assume, mainly for the Lando Picture Bell Bite, and it does not hit very hard, because when you have Chilly Reception, the defensive aspect of the ice types are doubled.
Of course,
so that's why I think ice is mainly a great option in this matchup, especially on Emerald side. I think on the Jack side, I think you can straight up go for Terra Fighting, or maybe even he brought a lot of Fairy this season, because he doesn't have a Fairy type at all.
For sure, yeah.
But I think mainly because I think he brings Pincurchin for speed control on Valiant and Hawlucha. Maybe a cheeky Terra Electric might gonna work.
Honestly, I can see that. Yeah, that's definitely a possibility, because it does look solid into Emerald Miner's team for sure. Honestly, if I'm just looking at this matchup, I think yeah, like both of you rightfully pointed out, it's going to be a very solid like war between who can get their attackers in position with the Terra Captains, and obviously the big threats of Bundle and Valiant, because Iron Valiant also with the right coverage moves does very well against Jack's team. So I think this is definitely one of the more even matchups we could have. However, it's time to place our bets, guys. Which of the two do you think has the advantage in this one? Place your bets.
I think just because, like, if we were to switch, if Iron Valiant was faster than Bundle, I would say Emerald Miner, because both of those Pokemon destroy each other. But Valiant is just a little bit faster, and I think just because of it being so fast and so strong against each of his Pokemon, I will put my bet on just Weavile.
Okay. Steph, what do you think?
Yeah, I'm debating because for me it's an 55-45 situation. Both our teams are very balanced in both attack, special attackers, and defensive core. Speed is mostly effective on the side of Emerald, but Jack has the bulk in the team, I think. Plus, I have some great speed up with Bundle and Darkrai, I assume. Maybe Scarf, Typhlosion, but I think I'm gonna say that Emerald is gonna win this quarterfinal.
Okay, so we have divided. So I guess I'm the tiebreaker on this one. Personally, I think this is an absolutely cutthroat match. I definitely agree with all of the things you guys said. However, I think the main thing for me, that's actually the difference in this one is, and this is something we've talked about all the way back in the power rankings as well, is Jack's team includes Ferret, Victreebel, and Gabite, and I don't really see those showing up. So I think the thing that actually sets it, gives me, like leans more towards Emerald Miner's side for me, is the fact that because Emerald Miner's roster is more diverse, I think Jack is going to have more difficulty preparing for his side, and that could like lead into him having certain moves that could have been better spent on the stuff that Emerald Miner actually brings. So I think in the battle it'll be very even, but like the prep side of things is going to be in Emerald Miner's favor. And so for that, just like you, Steph, I'm going to say 55 Emerald Miner, 45 Jack. But I'm all down to be surprised. Very cutthroat match. All right, thank you guys so much for your insight on that one.
If we do compare those two players specifically, I think Emerald has the upper hand just because of how well he prepares for every game.
That's very true. Yeah, he puts a lot of time into his prep as well, for sure. All right, let's move on to the round 2, which is going to be the Piercing Pawniards, coached by the Best Not Really, versus Icy Dude, coached by, the Neverdying Annihilapes, coached by Icy Dude. Now, this is a match. These guys have got teams which are incredibly scary, in my opinion, both of them, very diverse. Thoughts on this one, guys?
I'm gonna take the first one on this. Piercing Pawniards is the Best Really as a terrific season. I battled him, I believe it was week 2. Very difficult matchup, for real. He brought the Toxic Protect set on Flyscore. He brought all his Terra Captains. Luckily, I had a cheeky little thing with 7 shock spots, alright? With Gravity to kill the Gliscor, but the Best really improved from last season, not gonna lie. His team is very scary. He has become great opportunities with either Sneasler or Regidrago, can set up really bad. 3 phenomenal Terra Captains. In Florges, Delphox, one of my favorites. Appleton is, bulky. He can do something. Ice Dude I played last season. He's a very strange team, I must say. Because he has a couple of ground types. He has 3 ground types. So he's very weak to water. So his name said it. Annihilate doesn't die. He's a very powerful special attackers in the form of Yasuo, Electrode, and GU. Some great attackers in the form of Mamoswine, Annihilate, and even Dinkaton. if used correctly.
Yep.
And Clement is just there, so
filler point, right?
Same with Ditto. But I might consider maybe seeing a little bit of Ditto coming.
Yeah, it's very possible. Honestly, I think I do actually think highly of Icy Dude's team. It was even despite like the like repeating types, I did think it was quite difficult to prepare for this team. And it honestly surprised me how well Toxapex in particular actually holds it together. And the reason why I mentioned that is because I think in this matchup specifically, the best Tauros Paldea Aqua looks insane, right? Like it looks really good into Chi-Yu, into Tinglu, into Mamoswine, into Donphan, the list goes on. And if you bring it Scarf, you can also like guard yourself against the Scarf Chi-Yu, you can outspeed Hisui and Electrode. So that's a mon I think will absolutely show up. But then there is still like the Toxapex, and of course, you know, like he can maybe prepare for it with certain coverage. But like I think the Toxapex is going to be very difficult for the best team to break through, because he doesn't have like he has coverage, but he doesn't have the best of mons to break through this mon. Maybe like an offensive Gliscor, but that's going to be tough. I think the Annihilate could definitely pull some antics as well, because obviously there's that infamous Defiant. So if the best wants to take advantage of that Intimidate, Ice Dude could use that against him. But yeah, I think I'd say both of these players are really going to have to come up with creative ways to break past each other, because there's on both sides there's I'd say these two teams have very like big ends of a spectrum, in the sense that their offensive mons are very frail and very strong, and their defensive mons are like a little bit passive, but also super bulky. So I think it's going to be also a big positioning game with this one. Another mon that I think is a really big player here is Dabest's Regidrago, because Icy Dude's fairy type is Tinkaton, which is strong, but also a steel type, and Regidrago gets earth power. Now, of course, it can't Terra anymore, unlike last season, but if Dabest can catch that Tinkaton with an earth power before it can Terra, or he forces the Tinkaton to Terra and can then later hit it with its Dragon Stab, Icy Dude could be in trouble with like a Specs Dragon Energy set. Now, of course, that's still a little bit of a gimmick to try and pull off, but it can, and I think that mon is definitely a solid player. But honestly, I'm struggling to come up with who I think wins this one. So while I decide, Ray, you want to share your thoughts on this one?
Yeah, I think the Persian Pawniards, they have a more diverse roster of Pokemon, because I don't really expect Glimmet to come, and it will be easier to prepare for Icy, because he has 3 ground types, and most of all, it's easier to prepare for, and one of his main threats is Annihilate, which you have Zoroark, right, which is immune to both of Annihilapes stab moves. You have Gliscor, who pretty much walls Annihilate. Sneasler can outspeed it, and I'm not sure if... I think he ran Acrobatics on Sneasler this season at one of the games, so he can pull it off again. And for Chi-Yu, you have Florges, which can Terra, right? So you can turn either Terra Fairy on Terra Fire for Tinkaton, it will help against Tinkaton and Chi-Yu as well. Toxapex will be a huge wall, because like you said, Gliscor or Delphox, they can take it out, but they can't really switch in on it, because if Toxapex is like a weird Hydro Pump set, it will just drop those two.
Yep.
On paper, I think the game is in the best's favor, but in reality it can go either way, to be honest.
Yeah, I think so too. Steph, what do you think?
Yeah, I totally agree with Raymond. Both sides can do a lot, and you see how it ends.
Yep.
I think personally my bet is going into the best. Not gonna lie.
I think I could see that, honestly. Me personally, I think it's actually kind of a similar story with the last one, where because the best has such a diverse roster, it's going to be more difficult for Ice Dude to prep. But at the same time, it's I can definitely see a world where Icy like manages to stay his ground, maybe get Annihilate going, or catch someone off guard with a proper Terra. It's a really big nail biter, this one, but I think I'm also slightly leaning towards it being favored towards the best. But it's super, like I always want to say like 51-49 basically. I'm having a tough time deciding. But yeah.
So I actually battled both of those people this season, and I want to say that the best is a more creative player, maybe one of the most creative in the current league.
That's true. Yeah.
Yeah, he pulled like grassy terrain, psychic terrain, those crazy strategies, Hyper Beam Zoroark.
Yeah, oh my god, Scarf Hyper Beam Zoroark, that's crazy.
Icy is a more defensive, safe player. So what I think will depend in this matchup more is like if the best can pull one of his strategies, and if he does, I think the game is probably his. But if like the things start falling apart, like you said, if like Annihilapes gets a KO, or like one of the best's walls go down early, it will be hard for him. I think like team-wise, it's very slight edge to the best, so I will go with his team.
All right, thank you guys. We're definitely a cutthroat match. That's I'm honestly sad that neither of these coaches upload. Now, obviously, we will get the best clips and awesome story writing, of course, which is always to look forward to. But I'm sad we won't get to see this match in its full, honestly, because it looks like a really fun one.
Yeah, it sure does. Yeah.
All right, let's move on to match number 3, which is another one which I'm very excited to see. We have the Piedmont Triad Kickers versus the Atacama Tyranitars. So I guess I'll start with this one. I really like both of these players' teams, honestly. I'm sad I never got to play Beardo with his squad, but I obviously did get to face Brandon. I got absolutely destroyed. Still mad about the Oricorio quit. No, I'm joking. But but I absolutely think that Brandon's record is deserved. Like, obviously, he was dominating at the start of the season. I think his team is a big part of that. I do really like his team. And Beardo's team has also gotten a lot better after the transaction. So I think this is another quite even matchup on paper. If I have a quick look at the matchup here, though, I think definitely Urshifu Rapid Strike looks really solid into Beardo's team, in my opinion, because outside of Pelipper, there isn't a whole lot he has to actually like guard himself against like the combination of Surging Strikes in close combat. So that's definitely a big player in this game. I also think that Beardo's Barraskewda is going to be a big player in this game because it has an amazing speed tier against everything, and also has coverage to hit everything really hard, especially if the Clodsire is not water absorb. But even if it is, it can have Psychic Fangs. So as for whether or not Beardo will bring the Rain Core, I think it is more than likely, because it just gives him Barraskewda at its full strength, and also like Pelipper is his best switch into Urshifu Rapid Strike. But then again, Brandon can definitely prepare for that, right? Like, obviously it can have U-turn, he can pivot around. I obviously don't think Pikachu and Pupitar will show up, so this is pretty much a 9v9 matchup. I think you guys will agree. But I do think that one big thing I think in Brandon's favor is his choice of Terra Captains. Like, Beardo's set of Terra Captains are absolutely amazing, don't take me wrong, but Brandon's are even better. Like, we've all been on the receiving end of what that Bisharp could do. So it's definitely like another nail biter for me. But yeah, what do you guys think?
I mean, if you look on paper, so Pikachu is good against Pelipper and Barraskewda. It does resist Bullet Punch for Scizor, and it's also good against Braviary. But to be more serious, I'm not personally a fan of Rain in this matchup, just because Clodsire will probably have Water Absorb, just because I don't really see, like, Swords Dance, Garchomp kills it either way, right? And Noivern has like the best tier, speed tier, except for like Electrode and Barraskewda, right? But Barraskewda doesn't usually have Ice Fang, I think.
It can have Psychic Fangs too.
Yeah, and I think Hurricane, if you give Noivern as Hurricane, which is perfectly accurate, you can't really switch into it. Like, imagine if you are Bira, you can't really switch on Hurricane, right?
True. It's tough.
But also the huge disadvantage of bringing Rain into this matchup, Urshifu is insanely strong without Rain, and if you give a Rain boost to his Surgeon Strikes, I think like even Pelipper doesn't really want to switch out on it, and his only grass Pokemon is weak to fighting, so that's probably why I think Birado is actually not bringing Rain in this. Also, the big part of this matchup is how Garchomp will deal with Cresselia. Like if Cresselia is a Terra Fairy, which it can be because Moonblast, right, against Garchomp.
Yep.
How will Garchomp deal with that? And B-Sharp, if B-Sharp comes on Garchomp, more than likely it is going to Terra, and it's so physically bulky with Eviolite, I think it's going to be pretty hard. Like, if you are not using Rain, which is your main strategy, and you're also trying to prepare for Cresselia and B-Sharp, it's going to be really hard for Bira to pull off.
Also, yeah, I can see it. Steph, thoughts on this one?
Yeah, I think Rain is not an issue on Brandon's part with Urshifu learning Thunder Punch as well. Noivern can learn Water Pearl, so you can use that in an advantage, even if you want to, with Hurricane as well. I believe Frostball gets Weather Ball, so Brandon can change the whole aspect of the Rain with if Beardo is gonna bring it. Terra Captains, yeah, Cresselia is a demon. I've been there week 1. Don't want to remind me of either. Yeah, and the 3 Terra Captains of Beardo are absolutely phenomenal. Wochen, demon of an defensive mon. Braviary can work well with Share Force Life Orb.
Yeah.
Maybe even agility sets. Yeah. Electrode is just a fast Pokemon. So
I think if Birado does put Braviary on his team, it's going to be like a underdog, the hidden pick that can actually threaten most of his team. Like even the special walls, Sheer Force, Hurricane is going to hit extremely hard.
For sure.
I agree with that. You can also break that the last, of course, but
yeah. I think
I was checking if Braviary or Noivern can learn by the ball, but that's not touch. Only one move he learns is Water Pulse on Noivern.
Okay.
If he was brain that's madman, but okay.
Oh yeah, I will also missed the part that this is actually the matchup of B-Sharp and King Gambit.
Yeah, I was just about to mention that. Yeah, we have B-Sharp versus King Gambit. We'll see who comes out victorious, especially because B-Sharp is actually a Terra Captain, obviously, whereas King Gambit is not. We'll see if all of our hunches are correct, if B-Sharp really is better than King Gambit in this league.
I believe so, because Brandon did a lot of things with B-Sharp this season. So I think, B-Sharp versus King Gambit. I don't think King Gambit's coming, but we will see about it.
I don't think so either. I think the only thing that the King Gambit really looks good against is like Gardevoir, Cresselia, things like that. Maybe even Noivern because it resists the stabs, but like he can definitely prepare for those. And obviously Urshifu Rapid Strike is a difficult one to get around.
King Gambit is no option. King Gambit is no option for this match.
No, I mean, if it was to be ballsy like I did against Beardo in the quarterfinals, I had King Gambit against his Urshifu Rapid Strike back then. I did have Aerial Ace for it, but like you need to catch it on the switch, right? Because otherwise it just outspeeds and kills you. So I do think this matchup is another very close nail biter. I really like both these players' teams. As for like who I think wins this one, I think I'm gonna give the slight edge to Beardo because I think his team is like obviously we have this graph right here, right? I think the speed tiers are a big part of this. I think Brandon's definitely going to be bringing like a few scarves to make up for it, which obviously does mean, not his mons aren't perhaps as powerful as they could be. All of Birudu's Terra Captains look amazing in this one, so that's going to be an unpredictable one. And we'll see if he brings the Rain Core. I do think it looks usable. If there definitely are arguments against it as well, but I think. I just think Birudu's team is super versatile in this one. And another thing that I really noticed about Birudu's team is he's got a very good like Volturn core on his team. We have Iron Moth with U-turn, we have Scizor with U-turn, we have Pelipper with U-turn, we have Barraskewda with Flip Turn, Hisuian Braviary with U-turn, and then regular Electrode with Volt Switch. So I think Birudu can actually keep up momentum quite well in this one and use his advantageous speed tiers to break Brandon's team open. But we'll see we'll see how it goes.
It's the same with Brandon. Brandon has U-turn on Urshifu, U-turn on Cinderace, he has Volt Switch on either Rotom or Pikachu, he has U-turn on the Noivern and also Frostmoth. So
yep.
It's a match. This is gonna decide who is gonna get the first momentum and who is gonna get their best month in.
Yep,
for sure.
Definitely.
I think the very slight edge, like offensively, I think those two teams are even, but defensively, Biradu's team is a little bit bulkier, and that's for me, which is the deciding factor, right?
Makes sense.
Talking about the U-turn and the Volt Switch, and for Brandon, it's mostly going to be like in Cresselia, and you don't really want to get your main Pokemon damage that early. And
yep.
Biradu actually has like 3 walls, I would say. Pelipper, Watchen, and even Scizor if he decides to go defensive route, or Garchomp if he decides to go the defensive route.
Yep. Steph, were you backing in this one?
I'm not sure actually.
Okay. No, you could leave it at neutral, that's fine.
Because I think Ice Skills Frostmoth is most likely gonna come. I think. Or special walls.
Mm-hmm.
Because with Ice Skills it does nothing. I had Frostmoth as well in my other league. With Ice Skills it tanks special attacks like it's absolutely nothing.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
I think if you had enough confidence up, I think you might sweep this whole team, no matter what. So, but I think most overall, I agree with you both guys. Birudu has a fighting chance to win over Brandon.
Alright, we'll see if our hunch is correct. And then for the final match, we're going to move on to quite a spicy one here, because we have the matchup of the two people who are in this call with me right now. We have Raymon versus Stefan, the Mamoswine Doubters versus the Grand Lake Garchomps. So I'll let you guys share what you got like after this one, but I think I'll try to take the lead on this just so we can avoid those mind games. Yeah. And I'm just going to say it right here, who I think has the edge. I really like both of you guys' teams. I think Stefan's team didn't start out very strong in the league, but he made a couple of amazing transactions, especially with adding Torkoal to the team, which I think made his team a lot scarier. Roaring Moon has been doing fantastic for him, obviously. And the Sandy Shocks is obviously a big threat. The Lucario, I think, is very solid into Ray's team. Honestly, Stefan's first 7 all look really good. I could definitely see all of those coming. And that's not even including any of the Terra Captains. So I think all of the Terra Captains with the right unexpected moveset could definitely do some work here. It does slightly help that Stefan has one more Mon. Because unlike some other Mons or teams that we've seen, for example, with the Pikachu and the Pupitar in the last match, I think you guys have all usable Mons, right? This is a genuine 9v10 matchup. So I think that's definitely good for Stefan's side, the fact that he has one more Mon. He also has one more Terra Captain. I don't know if that'll play a big role, but I mean, it's there. But then as for Ray's team, obviously Ray's got a very top-heavy team. His first 6 are super dangerous, and some people rightfully pointed out when we did the power rankings, his team may be predictable and you might know what it's going to do, but it's more sort of the question of what are you going to do about it, and I think that's a very good one. Probopass is definitely also an unexpected Terra Captain you definitely shouldn't sleep on. That definitely has caught people off guard for sure. And then honestly, I think Dracloak doesn't even look that bad into Steph's team, because he's got he's got very little ghost switch-ins, and the 2 ghost switches that there are hit neutrally or even super effectively in Roaring Moon's case by Dragon Stab. So I mean, you never know. I do think that you guys are gonna like have a very close match in this one. I'm struggling to think like straight off the bat who I think is gonna win, because I think like honestly both of these teams are very solid. You guys are very solid players. So I think like if anything, one thing I can be sure of, it's gonna be a good match. I'm sure of that. But as for like who I think has the advantage in this one, you know what? I'll let you guys go at it first. I should let you guys share your thoughts, and then I'll make up my mind. So yeah, feel free to share what you got.
So I called this matchup of ours the Battle of the Dragon Kings. It will all come down.
I can see that. Yeah, you're right.
So which dragon is going to destroy more opposition of the opposition?
You guys also have like your dragon types are also like your kill leaders, right? Like your Excalibur is doing amazing, and Steph's Roaring Moon has also been killing it this season.
Yeah, they rightfully deserve their top left slot on the team preview we have right here. Like looking at both of our teams, neither of us actually have really any switch-ins to either Excalibur or Roaring Moon.
Honestly, you're not wrong. Yeah, these 2 months are gonna go crazy.
It's going to be really fun.
You have Azumarill and Corviknight, so these are 2 months I can see switching very easily into Roaring Moon. Yeah, what I can say about Raven's team, he battered me in week 6 or week 5. I don't know. He brought an amazing Azumarill set with Training Gears and Sapsipper and all.
And Rocky
I was like, why did he bring that? Why? Because it pissed off my Rillaboom. Yeah.
I was honestly like waiting for the day that Ray would bring Sapsipper Azumarill against someone. I thought maybe he would do it against me for the Torterra, but at the same time it is one of the Terra captains, right? But I was like, as soon as it came in on Rillaboom, I was like, yep, this is what's gonna happen.
No, he out of me. No, but to be fairness, in this matchup is really tough, both for me and for Raymond, because we have I think we have a similar team. We have a couple of commands who can set up and sweep. We have
I'm going to post a meme in our chat so you know how I feel about Sapsipper versus Huge Power, and I think you both are going to like this one.
I can't see it right now because I've got the screen open.
Yeah. It's also something, well, that's fine. We have. I believe we have both 1 or 2 mons who can get away off the hazards. We have only 1, Raymond.
Actually, I'm actually really scared of Stefan's team just because of how well put together. Like you have Sun with 2 powerful Paradox Pokemon. Like I used Sandy the last season, even without Terra. It's extremely strong in the Sun. Roaring Moon, which can like be any set and it will work. And then you also have 2 walls in Alomamol and Sylveon, and Lucario, which can just sweep with the right move, and then, like you said, 3 Terra captains, which makes it more unpredictable.
Honestly, I think both, again, I can't stress this enough, I think both of you guys have amazing teams. I think it's going to be a nail-biter for sure, and also I think the Terra captains are going to play a big role in this one. As well as whichever dragon type comes out on top. I think if it's time for me to make my pick, who I think is going to win, and if I have to take a guess, and I'm going to try to, I honestly don't know. That's basically what I'm trying to get at. I honestly don't know. So the reason why I'm going to go, I'm going to say that Ray wins this one, and the only reason that is because you guys faced each other in the regular season, and he won back then quite convincingly. So I think that gives him a slight edge, like the mental game. But honestly, I could very easily see Steph winning this as well. like honestly a 50-50, but if the whole point of this video that we try to pick one, so because of that and that alone, I'm gonna say Ray wins this one. But I'm fully down to be surprised, and I'm honestly rooting for both of you because either of you wins or anyone in this league wins, is an amazing sight to see. So
yeah, I think it's going to be a very entertaining and close game.
Yep.
Obviously, after the last game, like I think having destroyed Stefan in the last game is more of a disadvantage for me because he is going to like watch the battle and correct his mistakes.
You've shown your hand though, that's definitely true.
Yeah,
we have seen, fun fact, we've seen in BHDL history, it is way more common actually for someone that has previously lost to then get revenge than for the person who won first to then win again. Like that's like a trend I've noticed in both season 1 and 2. Whenever people have a rematch, the match result is usually the other way around. So do you know what, honestly, I could, if that's the case here, if that trend continues, then Steph's gonna have a good time.
Yeah, exactly. The only thing I'm going to say about my team is that I'm glad that I made this team better by doing a few transactions, and it really did come from a team of 6 Pokemon to a team of 8. I actually used Salazzle and Probopass a lot more than some of my. I think they did better than Zapdos and Corviknight, which is very surprising.
No, that's crazy.
Yeah.
Alright, so that's it for our Steph, you still got something to share?
Yeah, it's gonna be a tough battle for both of us, I think, and you will see, I believe, on both sides. You will see the video coming up. So
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
I'm super excited
Raymond,
to watch this one, honestly.
For Raymond, it's gonna be on Twitch, and for me, it's gonna be on my YouTube channel. So
Yep. Stefan's YouTube link is in the description down below, by the way, guys. Please go check him out. Alright, so that is going to be it for our predictions of the quarterfinals. I'm super excited to see how we're going to end, how this is going to go. And I'm even more excited to see who makes it to the semis and then finally the finals. Because honestly, especially judging from the regular season, it is anyone's game, really. It really is. You guys got any closing thoughts?
I have one question for both you guys. Who do you think is gonna win the whole thing?
So, me personally, I made a prediction from the very start of the season that I tried to predict who I think is gonna win, and all the way back then, just purely looking at the teams and also his prior history in BHDL, my bet was on Emerald Miner, and I'm still not gonna change that. I think he is a player that I very much respect. I mean, I respect everyone, don't take me wrong, but for some reason I just have this gut feeling that he's gonna win it all. But that's my guess.
Have you, Raymond?
Just looking through the teams, I think Emerald Miner always had the most well-balanced team out of all the people.
Yeah.
If we were to compare the teams, I think his is more likely to win. Yeah.
All right. What do you think, Steph?
I had a prediction as well. Unfortunately, the person who I predicted it didn't make playoffs.
Who was that?
It was you, Scorpion.
Oh, was it actually? Oh, wow. That's very kind of you.
Yeah, I really thought because of the fact you had a very solid team, overall was a very good team.
Thank you.
And we had some favorites. You had some of your favorite Pokémon in it, so I was like, yeah, why not? He did a great job last season, coming into semifinals. My thought was you're gonna face either Emerald or Raymond in the final. So, but unfortunately, you make it.
I predict the finals to be Emerald versus Biradu.
I could see that, yeah. But honestly, at the same time, I have no idea who I think is going to be in the finals. I still do think Emerald Miner is going to win it. But honestly, like I said, it's anyone's game. I don't want to place my bets on who I think is going to win this time. Actually, last season I actually did a prediction on the whole playoffs bracket, and I actually got it all right except for the finals result. But this season I have no idea where to even start, genuinely.
I mean, yeah, we are trying to guess which of the 5-3 teams, all 8 of them is going to win.
Yeah, honestly, they're all going to win.
I'm gonna say for sure now. I think Beardo is gonna be in the final, no matter what, because he has the better bracket. I think.
I mean, just looking through all the teams, I think every team looks great. I don't see like any single team, and I can't say, okay, this team is weaker. Maybe like by a very little bit.
Yeah, honestly, like it's a really it's an absolutely cutthroat league, man. And the BHDL power creep is real, but we're all good.
We can say for sure we are in the toughest bracket of the
that's true.
Of the playoffs.
For sure.
Although I wanna add that I'm actually happy that both Azumarill and Pikachu made the playoffs.
Oh, that's honestly kind of cool.
Fair. I think it's a great time to end the video.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, that's going to be it for our prediction, guys, for the BHDL Season 1 playoffs. Again, there will be a little follow-up video on this once the quarterfinals results are in, and we're going to look at the semifinals. But for now, we want to thank you all so much for watching, and I want to thank the two lovely gentlemen in the call with me right now for joining me today. And we're going to see how the playoffs will advance from here on out. So once again, thank you guys so much for watching. Stay tuned for the semifinals, and we'll see you next time. Peace.
Bye, guys.
Bye.